Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? If you guys are there in the chat, please say hi, hello. Saturday, I was not planning to do the live, but thought that we can do a live on angiography. We can study about angiography. A lot of first year students and a lot of people who are about to start biomedical engineering. You guys would love this topic, so I thought maybe why don't do a Saturday live where we just focus on studying something new about anything related to biomedical engineering. So if you guys are there, please say hi, hello, how are you? Just give me a second, I'll share across the stream link to others so they can also join in. So how is it going for you all? I think a lot of people are not there on the chat, so I'll just quickly address some questions if you guys have. If not, then we can quickly start with the session. So if at all you guys are in your home, take a notebook, take a pen, take some notes if you guys like. And I will make sure by end of this live you are someone who knows anything and everything about angiography. So excited for that. Doing this live little early today is because I have a lot of stuffs going on, not keeping well, not able to sleep. So a lot of things are there. I think you guys can see I'm having dark circles and things like that. So late night live was not possible today. So tomorrow we will be having a good live where we can discuss, have fun, talk about a lot of random things and stuffs like that. So today, let's just focus on studying something new or learning something new. So that's that. And what else? What else? So what I'll do is I'll quickly share my screen and we will go to the tab where we need to be. My camera is off. I'll turn on the camera. Turn it off from here. Go to the screen and there you go. So we will be learning about angiography today. So that's the screen. Cool. So I don't know how many guys are there on the chat and how many of you are watching the stream. So quickly we'll discuss about angiography. And if you are a biomedical engineering student, if you're watching this video, if you have any questions, doubts, queries, please put it on the chat. Would be more than happy to answer the questions. And apart from that, let's just see what all we are going to cover today. We will see what is angiography, very basic thing, understanding about what angiography is. Why do we need angiography? Why should someone has to go through an angiography? And how does this work? How does angiography work? And understanding about X-ray, right? Apart from X-ray, what are the things that we do while we are going through an angioplasty? And also we will be learning and studying about medical companies that are best in class when it comes to doing angiography on patients. Cool. Hi Zenith, how are you doing? So that is there. And so let's just start. I think there are not a lot of people because I tried doing an early live today, so maybe tomorrow we will do it at night around 9:30 10. Is this need for first year? So this is something which is Not needed for first year, but I think if you study this before you start your first year or when you are in your first year, that will really help you a lot to understand what you are studying in your day-to-day activities or studying in your day-to-day college life, right? So this is the problem that I see facing, right? Ki students who are in first year, they think all this is not required, but trust me when I say this, these are the things which is very good if you learn it very early in your career. Cool. So if you are watching this, if you are going to start your college or if you are still in your first year, then take a notebook and a pen and just make down notes of things that you think is important, and it will help you. Trust me, it will help you a lot. And post about this on LinkedIn after this session is done. You know what is angioplasty. You have not even started your first year, so post it on your LinkedIn, post it on your relevant social media platforms wherein people can see and understand that you are someone with knowledge about angioplasty. So, what is angiography or what is angioplasty? So, I have given a lot of content on the PPT. I will be sharing this PPT on the group once the session is done. But see, basically, angiography is like a superhero's X-ray vision for blood vessels. Now there are like a lot of superheroes: Spider-Man, Batman, and Iron Man, Hulk. So all these superheroes have different powers, right? So when you talk about angiography, it is a superhero which has the power to see through blood vessels. Cool. And it basically helps doctors to understand how the blood is traveling throughout your body, right? Understanding my point? So basically, angiography is like a superhero's X-ray vision. So a lot of superheroes have X-ray vision. So the same way, angiography is also like an X-ray vision, which helps doctors to see through blood vessels and how the blood vessels are traveling through your body through arteries. Very simple thing, very easy to understand. Now, what are arteries? Have you seen there are a lot of tubes, right? Shaktiman, Hanuman. Yeah, Shaktiman, Hanuman. They also have superheroes. So when you talk about angiography is like a superhero power, which is like an X-ray vision. Cool. So there are a lot of giant tubes carrying yummy food, air around your body. Foot pipe, windpipe, right? Small intestine, large intestine. So all these are like tube-like structures that are there in your body. Now, sometime what happens, if you have seen in your home, you will have water tank, right? And the water tank, when you turn it on, it like turns on the motor and the water gets on the top of the tank and the tank fills. But what happens if something blocks the tube? What happens if something blocks the pipe? The water doesn't go, and then the motor may heat up, the motor may burst, the motor may fail, right? In the same way, when you talk about body, if there is like a clot or if there is like a clog in our arteries or in basically in the arteries, then the heart has to beat so fast, or the heart has to pump blood so fast that the heart fails, and that's how people get stroke, that's how people get heart attacks, right? So what are the things that we covered? And basically angiography helps doctors check for these blockages that I'm talking about. So basically, doctor is a plumber who is using a camera to see where the blockage is, and that camera is basically an X-ray vision, which is called angiography. Cool. So what is angiography? Angiography is like a superhero's X-ray vision, which helps doctors to figure out how the blood is traveling through the body, and to do this, they take help of angiography. Any doubts? Any questions? So you know what angiography is. If you are having questions, drop it on the chat, okay? Next slide. So how do you define angiography? So this is like an explanation that I gave you, but as a biomedical engineer, how do you define angiography? Right? So imagine an X-ray that can not only see your bones, but also hidden rivers of blood flowing through your body. That's the magic of angiography. So when you take X-ray, you see the bones in your body, right? But when you talk about angiography, you can also see the flow of your blood throughout your body, how the blood is flowing, from where is it going, how is it going, where is it reaching, where is the blockage, and things like that. So when you have to define it in a professional way, the medical imaging technique uses X-rays and a special dye to reveal inner workings of your vascular system, particularly focusing on arteries. Very technical, very easy to, very difficult to understand, very difficult to remember. So I will tell you a quick way how to remember it. So what is it? It is a medical imaging technique. image, because we are getting an image. What image are we getting? We are getting an image of the arteries, or the how the blood is flowing through our body. That is called, it is called medical imaging technique. Okay, what does it use to see what is happening inside the body? It basically uses x-ray vision to see what is happening inside the body or inside the arteries. Now obviously a normal x-ray cannot reveal the arteries, so there is a special dye that is used. So the medical professional injects a special dye inside the human body to make sure that these arteries can be revealed in an image, right? So basically, it is a medical imaging technique which uses X-rays and special dyes to reveal the inner workings of the body. Cool. And these are primarily focused on revealing the arteries, the flow of the arteries. Aditya Prasad, hi. Bharat, instruments used in angiography, top company manufacturer. Yes, I'll come to that. I have the slides on the following slides where I'm talking about which are the top companies which are doing great in this specific department. Hi Renit, how are you? So now we understood what is angiography. We also understood how to define about angiography in a professional way. Now next, now these are the images that you get when you do an angiography. So if you see this image, right? If this is the image, X-ray image of a heart, right? So this can you see the shape of a heart, right? The center wall, and this is how the arteries are circulated across the heart. Now, can anyone figure out where is the blockage or where the blockage is? Anyone? Can you figure out where the blockage could be in this image? Like on the top, on the bottom, on the right, on the left? So if you guys see, this is how the arteries are flowing through the heart. Can you see? This is how it's flowing, and it is on the heart. So can you see this block? Not this, okay? Can you see this blockage right here? There's a thin line here. That is like a blockage, and how do we figure this out? If you take a normal X-ray, this image is not possible to be seen. So what you do is basically you inject a dye, and when the dye goes inside the body, that basically reveals the arteries like this when you take an X-ray image. Cool. So the blockage that you see is somewhere right here. And as a biomedical engineer, if tomorrow someone gives you X-ray image of an angiography, you should be able to understand where the blockage is. If you are not able to understand, or if you are not able to identify where the blockage is, then what's the point? Left top more near center. Yeah, correct. Left top more towards the center. And this is also a blockage. Can you see here? This is like the major blockage. So can you see there is like a artery that is coming up, but suddenly there is like a very short space for the blood to pass, and that's like a blockage. And we use angiography to figure out these kind of blockages, where it is and how exactly this can be treated. Cool. So there are a couple of images. You have to take it from different angles, different aspect ratios, and then eventually the doctor figures out that okay, here is the blockage and what needs to be done next. And I think this is something which you will never study in college. You will just understand that okay, this is angioplasty. You will understand the definition. You will understand how it is done, and that's it. But I think these are the things that you as a biomedical engineer should know. Okay, if you are getting a report, how to understand what the report is trying to convey and where the blockage is and things like that. Cool. So why do we need angiography? Why someone would need angiography? So all the slides I have explained with an example so that it's easy to remember for you guys. You know what happens when you're in Bangalore, right? And there is a lot of traffic and there's a lot of blockage. So what happens? The chances of accident increases, right? So I'll just take that similar example. So angiography, who needs to do it? And it's very simple. Basically, someone who is having a blockage in the heart, someone who is having a very severe heart pain, someone who is going through a stroke, someone who cannot breathe. In these, anything related to heart, the first thing that you do is you take an angiography to understand whether the heart is safe or not, or whether the heart is functioning properly or not. And this is just like a traffic jam just like a traffic jam can cause accidents, clogged arteries can lead to bigger problems like heart attacks. So when you are in your day-to-day life, when there's a lot of traffic and you drive your bike or car very at a fast pace, chances are you will have accident. In the same way, when the heart is not functioning properly, when the heart's arteries are blocked, or when the arteries are blocked, chances are that you can eventually suffer from a heart attack. And that's where exactly angiography comes in. It's like having a helicopter fly over the highway and show you exactly where the traffic jam is. Let's take another example. You have a Google map, right? When you put your Google map destination and the arrival place, from where you are departing and from where you are arriving, from start to destination, it will show you the road. It will show you the map. And in the map, you can exactly see the red signs where the traffic jam is. In the same way, angiography is used to figure out where those kind of traffic jams are there inside the heart. Easy to remember, easy to understand. And basically, we do it for two main reasons. First, like I said, to find blockage, where exactly the blockage is in the arteries, and that helps exactly the doctors to see where the blockage is, or where they have to work on, or where they are seeing a lot of problems and things like that. So the first reason to do angioplasty would be to figure out where the blockages are. The second one is to see overall health of your blood vessels. So angiography gives doctor a good picture of how well your blood is flowing in general. Now let's say if your blood vessels have bulked up, or let's say if they are getting little thick. Obviously, if the blood is thick, it will not flow easily. If the blood vessels increase their size or something like that happens, the blood will not flow smoothly, or at a very constant flow. So the angiography also helps doctor to understand how healthy are your blood vessels. Are they moving properly? Are they able to move constantly throughout the arteries? If not, then what is the reason? What is happening and things like that. So why would someone need angiography? Someone would need angiography because of two reasons. First is to find the blockage, and second is to understand the overall health of the blood vessels. Sounds good. Any questions? This is a 2D image. Can we have the 3D image option also? Let's just check, right? 3D image of an angiography. Cool. Let's see if we can see any 3D pictures. I don't think these are like real 3D pictures that we can see. It's a 3D reconstruction. Yeah, so this is the kind of image that we saw, and this is like a 3D image that we have. So let's just open this picture and let's just see if we can analyze something. For some reason, my eyes are paining. Cool. Okay, there you go. So I will just move myself out of the frame, and I'll be here staring. Okay, I'll be here. Better. So see, this is the left side image, the A, B, C, D image that you see. These are 2D images, right? So if you see the 2D images, can you see where the blockage is? Can you try to figure out where exactly the blockage is? I'm trying to find out as well. So if I am correct, then it is somewhere here. It's coming like this. It's going like this. Yeah. So I think the blockage is somewhere here. Okay. So how do they develop 3D image is a very simple technique, right? So they will take A, B, C, D are pics from 4 different angles, right? And they have reconstructed this image into a 3D model which looks like this. So if you ask me in the 3D model where exactly is the blockage, I am not quite sure if I could find it out, but in a 2D image I can very well understand where is it, because in a 3D image it's very difficult. How do you understand the blockages here, right? And if we could have moved this, if we can move this image and we can understand, then that is easier. But with a with like a static 3D image, it's very difficult for me to understand where the blockage is. So again, I am an old school guy. You guys may be better at it, so you guys can figure it out quickly as you can. coming back to the PPT. Cool, and I will come back here. Better. So, as I said, what is angiography? How it helps the doctors? Why someone should do angiography? Clear? Easy to understand? If doubts, if any questions, drop it on the chat. Let's move to the next slide. Now, I am going to teach you the entire process, how exactly the angiography works in a very easy way to remember, right? I'll give you 4 steps and you have to remember 4 characters. Cool. So the first character is the detective catheter. So the detective catheter is basically like a superhero, or like I would say a supporting role, a supporting actor who supports the superhero. So there is a detective catheter who is like a detective. The second guy you need to know is the glowing liquid. So the detective has a special liquid called the glowing liquid. Okay. And what this glowing liquid does, it reveals everything. Cool. And finally, the detective decodes the clues. So you have to remember a detective. What is that detective having? That detective is having a super magic liquid, a glowing liquid. And this liquid helps to reveal everything. Wherever you put this liquid, it will reveal everything. And finally, once everything is revealed, the detective's job is to decode the clue that he's getting. Cool. So let's see the first character, who is the detective catheter. So do you guys know what a catheter is? This is a catheter. Can you see? A small tube-like structure, and then you're putting something inside that tube. So this is a catheter. So tomorrow if someone asks you what is a catheter, you know what is a catheter. Okay. So the doctor sends in a super thin flexible tube called a catheter. So this thing that you see, this tiny thin tube or a flexible thin tube, it is called catheter. And it is inserted through a vent. So this thing that you see, the green thing attached, this is a vent. Cool. And this basically goes through till the aorta of your chest. Okay. So the doctor sends in a super thin flexible tube called catheter, who is the detective. The detective catheter goes inside the heart, reaches till the aorta, and how does it go? He goes through a vent. So the detective catheter goes inside the heart till the aorta through a vent. Easy to remember. That is the first step. So once the X-ray image is there, the doctors figure out where the blockage is, then they will send this detective to fix that blockage that they have seen. Cool. He's a very sneaky agent, okay? The sneaky agent will travel through the vent very secretly. No one would know that he's traveling inside. So what I mean by that is you will not have the pain, you will not understand the sensation, because obviously you will be under anesthesia when these things or this process is going on. So that's that. Now what happens is, now to see where the blood is flowing or where not the blood is flowing, the doctor injects the glow in the dark liquid called the contrast dye. So what is the glowing liquid? The glowing liquid is called the contrast dye. If you guys want to see how the contrast dye looks, contrast dye used in angiography. Can you see? I'll show you. So iodine based contrast material are also commonly injected in the arteries during angiogram procedure. So basically gadolinium is injected into a vein, right? So what is the technical name of the dye? It is called gadolinium. Okay, gadolinium. And I'll also show you how the liquid looks like. So see, these are the examples of few contrast dyes. Can you see? It's like transparent, and how it is injected, that also I will show you. Can you see? So basically the process, the catheterization is the process wherein the doctor inserts the catheter through a vent inside your heart, and it goes like this. Okay, this is a artery, this is a artery, this is the vent. Vent is, as I said, the green color tube, that is the vent, and inside the vent there is what? There is a catheter. Cool. So this is how it is inserted, and it goes like so. Imagine how small, how thin it will be, that it is going inside your arteries. And see, these are examples of the dyes that you have, that you are using, the contrast dyes that you are using. Cool. So I've showed you that also. So coming back to the PPT, how it is injected. So they will take it into an injection like this, and then they'll insert it into a vein let's also see which vein they insert it to, so that it is also helpful for us. So it is injected through so it is injected into a vein intravenously. What is meant by intravenously? Let's just understand that also. Basically it means within a vein, right? So you inject this dye within a vein, and then it reveals the arteries. Cool. So the magic juice shines brightly on X-ray like hidden clues for the doctors. So now recall everything what you have studied. We understood what angiography is. We understood why angiography is done, and who basically does this? A doctor, right? Now a doctor has one secret agent, which is the detective catheter, right? Now this detective catheter has a superhero, which is the glowing liquid, right? Or glow in the dark liquid. What is that liquid? It is the contrast dye. What is the contrast dye? Gadolinium. Okay. And basically the doctor first figures out the X-ray. He understands where the blockage is, and then he sends in the detective catheter inside the heart. It reaches till aorta. How does it go? It goes through a vent. So he has a super secret tunnel which is called the vent. So the catheter goes inside the heart through the vent, and then the doctor injects a super glowing liquid which will help detective to find the hidden clues for the doctors, and that liquid is called the contrast dye, and that contrast dye is inserted or put inside the body through a vein intravenously, and then the liquid is called gadolinium. Quick to remember, right? Then what happens? Then the X-ray reveal happens. So as soon as the dye zips through your arteries, or the X-ray magic, the machine takes picture. So once the doctor injects this contrasting dye, the X-ray reveals the arteries in the picture. So can you see, this is like the heart. Aorta is there. So the stent or the catheter reaches till here in this junction. And there is left main artery, there is right coronary artery, then there is circumflex artery, and there is left anterior descending artery. So once the liquid is injected, it gives out a picture like this in the X-ray. Cool. Can you see this picture? Now what happens is, there are a lot of high-tech cameras capturing the glowing blood flow. So if you guys know, when you take an MRI, when someone is going through that MRI tube, that the tube has a lot of cameras and a lot of sensors which quickly snaps a lot of pictures, right? The same way, when you talk about taking an angiogram, it basically, once you inject the dye, the X-ray machine takes a lot of picture using the cameras, high-tech cameras, okay? Now this gives the doctor a detailed picture of inner highways, or it shows the clogged arteries or the detours. So basically the blockages are also called detours. So can you see this picture, and can you figure out where exactly the blockage is? I don't know if you guys can see, but if you can, then just put it on the chat. So I will show you. Can you see this part right here? There are two dots. So this is the stent, okay? This thin is, so the stent comes till here, or the vent comes till here, this junction. From here the catheter goes in. So the catheter goes in and injects everything, and this is how the pictures are revealed. And in this, I don't know, it's very difficult to figure out where, because the picture is not clearly visible, but I don't know. I think there's not something that I can see here right now. So this is the vent. Inside the vent, there is a small tube coming in, which is the catheter. And can you see the small tube? That is called the catheter. So step 3 is the X-ray reveal, where the doctor injects the magic liquid, and the X-ray takes a lot of pictures using the high-tech cameras, and then that reveals everything that we have to see, which can be the clogged arteries, the detours, or the blockages in the arteries, and things like that. So detective went in, he injected the magic liquid that he had, and the doctor has the picture right now. Then what happens? Then decoding the clues. So just like detective analyzing the fingerprints, the doctor examines the X-ray picture. So this is how like the doctors examine the picture, the pictures that they get, and they can see where the blood is flowing smoothly, where it is slowed down, and even identify some special bumps or leaks from where, let's say, the blood may be flowing. So when you talk about, you have heard a lot about not blood clot, brain hemorrhage. So when brain hemorrhage happens, one of the arteries will leak a lot of blood, and the blood gets clogged in your brain, and basically you will have a hemorrhage. Internal bleeding, you would have heard a lot about internal bleeding. So this is something wherein you can understand where are the leaks in the arteries from where the blood is flowing out, or you can understand where the blood is flowing slow. You can also understand where the blood is flowing smoothly. Now, with this information, the doctor can diagnose any problem with your blood vessels and decide how to help them run smoothly again. So what the doctor does is, let's see the process again. The doctor has a secret agent called detective catheter. He sends the detective catheter inside the body till the aorta of your heart, and then the detective catheter injects a super gluing liquid, which is the contrasting dye called gadolinium. Once that is injected, there is a lot of X-ray pictures taken by high-tech cameras. Once this high-tech cameras take the pictures, the doctors decode the pictures and understand where the blood is flowing smoothly, where the blood is flowing slowly, and wherever the leaks or bumps are there in the arteries. Once they understand this, then they figure out what exactly needs to be done to basically fix the issue that the person is facing. Sounds good? Understood what we are trying to say or understand? Then what happens is, and then exactly how angiogram comes into picture. So can you see, this is the blockage, right? Can you see this? There is a small bump. That is the blockage. I'm so sorry. That is the blockage. Now when that blockage is there, how does the doctor fix that? So he will send a small stent, right? So this is the stent that is going inside. So when you talk about angioplasty, someone had a heart attack and they are going to have an angioplasty, which is like an open heart surgery, or it is like a non-invasive surgery. This is how it happens, right? So the doctor sends in a stent. Once the stent goes inside your arteries, it reaches till the place where, now in this picture, I will explain what is happening, okay? This yellow thing that you see, this is like the excess fat, bad cholesterol. So when you see like there is a lot of picture with, I will show you the picture wherein you can see bad heart pick versus good heart pick. So, okay, this is like a good picture. See, this is like a healthy heart, okay? This is like a healthy heart. This is how your heart should be like. But when you eat a lot of junk food, when you eat a lot of fat, and when you eat a lot of things, your heart becomes like this. The yellow thing that you see, this is bad cholesterol or fat that is there in your heart, and because of which majority of people who are obese, majority of people who are healthy, who are not moving every day, and when these kind of bad cholesterol, compiles together at a single place, that's when the person suffers from a heart attack. Cool. So what I'm trying to explain here is the yellow thing that you see inside is the fat. Now when the fat is like this, the blood vessels which are passing cannot flow smoothly. So let's say they are coming like this, and suddenly they will have a small place to travel, and every blood vessel will try to pass through that small space, and that creates a pressure in the heart at that specific point. When that pressure, or when that blood vessel tries to put force to pass through that space, that's when you have a heart attack. When you have a pain and you realize that the chest is paining, and you are facing difficulty to breathe in because the blood vessels are not able to flow smoothly because of that blockage, right? And then the can you see, it's like a balloon like structure, balloon like thing, um, which is like bulking up. So this cage like structure that you see, that is called a stent. It is sent through a catheter, and that stent is placed, which keeps the block like this, which keeps the artery like this. So it keeps it like this, and that is actually fixed in that certain spot so that it is not collapsing, and when that collapses, the person suffers another heart attack. Understanding the point? So this is how the angiography is done, right? There is a blockage, you send a stent, you place the stent, and the blood starts flowing easily. Cool. What you need to remember, there are three important things you need to remember. So angiography isn't like a regular X-ray that you take, right? It is like a special X-ray where you reveal the flow of the blood vessels inside your body. The contrast dye is safe to use and usually leaves your body through urine. Like once you inject it in your body, how does it get out of your body? It goes out of your body through the urine. So it's not harmful. It is not having a lot of side effects. It is safe to use and it usually leaves your body through urine. And the whole process helps doctor keep your blood highways flowing so that you can stay healthy and keep exploring. So if the blockage is there, this process helps the doctor to remove that blockage so that you can breathe easily, the blood is flowing throughout your body easily and you are like a healthy person who is exploring everything in your day-to-day life. Three important things you need to remember. Apart from that, what are the risks included in this? So bruising or bleeding, there are chances that post this process you have a lot of bruise, you have a lot of bleeding, you will have certain discomforts and pains. Red alert is basically when you are having itchiness around a specific reason or something like that. That is called like a red alert, and you can have unexpected allergies and things like that. Cool. These are risks involved in this process. Now, what is beyond X-ray? If angiography reveals a blockage, your doctor may recommend angioplasty. What is angioplasty? As I said, placing that stent in that specific place is called angioplasty, and it's like a minimally invasive. It's not like an open heart surgery where you have to cut open the heart and do the operation. It's not like that. It's like a minimally invasive procedure that usually uses a balloon to open up the narrowed artery. So like I said, the artery is like this. It has a lot of bad cholesterol. You insert this stent and the balloon, you like blow up the balloon to place the stent like this, and the stent stays there and the blood starts flowing easily, right? So sometimes a stent, a small expandable tube, is placed to keep artery open and prevent future blockages. So like I said, the arteries are blocked because of bad fat. What is bad fat? Like I showed you here, this is like the bad fat that your heart has. Or when you eat a lot of junk food, when you eat a lot of fat content and things like that, over the period of time, your heart becomes like this. So healthy heart is like this. If you are eating a lot of pizza, cheese, junk food, and your heart becomes like this because of bad cholesterol, and this bad cholesterol can also get into your arteries and can develop blockages like this. So this block that you see is because of fat. Now the fat is there, the blockage is there. How do I remove it? So basically, the doctor sends in a narrow tube through a catheter, which is consisting a stent, a balloon like structure. So when it reaches the specific spot, the balloon bulks up or opens up, and then the stent is placed in that wall, right? So that the fat or the blockage is not coming up again, and it prevents future blockages as well, and the doctor removes the catheter back, and that's how the angioplasty is done. Top companies which are developing or which are doing well in the angiography sector is first Angiodynamics, second Canon Medical Systems and Corporation, third GE Healthcare, fourth Siemens Healthineers, and fifth is Philips. NV stands for Nevada. So that specific quarters of Philips is basically doing really well in the specific domain. Do you guys want to check out what equipments or what catheters they have in place, so that because of which they are known as the top players? If yes, then maybe just put it in the chat. So Angiodynamics, Canon Medical Systems, GE Healthcare, Philips, and Siemens Healthineer. Let's just see if any of these companies are hiring. Angiodynamics. So if you go to their website, they are global leaders in vascular oncology, right? So this is the website they have, and if you go to the product by category, so can you see they have a lot of products for cancer treatment, which is oncology. Then there are venous therapies, Venacure. So these Venacure, EVLT, Venacure procedure pack, all this is basically equipment that they have. If you want to go and read more about it, so you can understand why this equipment is used, where is it used, and things like that. But let's say what catheters they have. Okay, so see, this is like a catheter. Let's just see this product. It's called Alpha Vac. Cool. So I'm trying to open that. It's taking some time. So this is a tool that is developed by Angiodynamics, which is called the Alpha Vac. I'll close this down. So see, this is how the equipment looks like. So the Alpha Vac system is the first line multi-purpose mechanical aspiration device that is easy to use and safe for the removal of thoro, thrombo thromboemboli from venous system. What exactly it means, I don't know. I'm coming across this term for the first time. So let's just see what it means. So it is basically venous thromboembolism. It is a serious but preventable condition that happens when blood clots from deep veins in the legs. So basically when you are having like a varicose vein or something like that, I believe when you have like a big blockage, this suction pump or this suction device is used to remove that blockage. So it's like a one flow process, and you can understand about this equipment, learn more about this equipment. So what I'm telling you guys, so when you go to the education section, I think they have some courses or trainings that you can take up to get started. Okay, so I think if you want to experience or get trained on how to use this device and things like that, you can go through the training program, I believe. Cool. So that's about Angiodynamics, the company that is there. And Siemens is there, GE Healthcare is there, Philips is there. So just go to their websites and understand and see what kind of catheters they have. So if I am a biomedical engineer, if my focus is to join a medical company like Siemens or GE Healthcare or Philips, I need to understand what department I want to join in. So if I want to join like a cardiology department, I want to deal with the cardiologic equipments and devices, I will go through the website and understand what products they have and try to learn from that. Cool. So that is all about the companies. So that's all about angiography. So I think in 40 minutes we covered what angiography is. And as a biomedical engineer, this is what you are expected to know. Not anything more than this, not anything less than this. This is like the perfect thing that you need to remember. When you are talking to the doctor, you should be able to understand what the doctor is trying to say using a X-ray image. Apart from that, you should understand how the process works. And let's say when you are in final year, you can also understand the anatomy of it. Let's say where exactly it reaches and from where, how exactly it operates, which arteries do it target and things like that, which is like very technical, and that usually you study when you are coming across or working for a company. So that was all about angiography. No questions, no doubts, nothing. So if you guys are having any doubts or anything of that sort, please feel free to put it on the chat and let's see how we can deal with it. So see, this is how I am going to teach you for 7 days in the bootcamp. I will make sure you know everything that you need to know as a first year student. And we will cover all the interesting topics, major topics that are very exciting to learn. And so yeah, this is how we will be having the classes. 7 days, August 1st to August 7th. 7 days, 3 to 3.5 hours of class every day, and we'll be covering pretty much everything in detail, and you will have a lot of good learnings and wonderful experience as well. What else? If you guys do not have any other questions, then maybe we can finish the live. So today's live was more aligned towards studying something new, and I believe you did study something new. And if at all you have any other questions or queries, then this is the time. So meanwhile, like I had bought a new device, which is the pen tablet. So this basically you can use when you are trying to teach. If you guys want to see how it works, then more than happy to do it right now. So I've not opened it. I have got it for the live classes and stuffs. So this is how it looks. It's 3.5K. Comes with a pen. So basically you plug this into your system, and then whenever you write something here, it reflects on the screen. So when we will have live classes, I will start teaching you in such a way that we are having a lot of fun and things like that. So that's something that I did over the weekdays. Got a new tool which will help me to teach you guys a little more better. So that's that. So that's the tool that I'm using to teach you guys. And apart from that, internships, I'm getting a lot of queries. If you have questions, then please feel free to drop it on the chat. And if nothing, then let's go, man. Well, I'll go out. As I said, I was feeling sick, having bad headache, and not keeping well. So if we have to do tomorrow's late night live, which is at 10, then I need to, cheer up and, get pumped up and get better so that we can talk about placements, how the interview process should look like. A lot of, like, it's placement season, placements are going on, so we can discuss many things about placements, interviews, and how to apply for jobs and things like that in tomorrow's live. But for that, I need to be fine. So that's there. What else? Any other questions, queries? If nothing, then it's 8:25. I'll finish the live at 8:30 if no questions or anything of that sort is there. So feel free to ask any questions if you have. I think there are a couple of people who are there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it. Sure. So I think there are no more questions, and why don't I play some? Yes, Bharat, please go ahead and ask the question. Happy to answer whatever question you may have. What else, guys? Bharat, I'm waiting for your question. Okay. So the question you have is, I'll pause the music. So what is the insertion point for the angiography? See, there is no such insertion point. Usually it's done from the arteries in the groin, which is like the femoral artery. And yeah, I think femoral artery is the common spot from where this is injected. Or you can also do it from the wrist. So see, this is when they're inserting the dye, right? When they're inserting the dye, they'll be doing this from the femoral artery, or from the artery which is there in the wrist, so that they can just insert the gadolinium liquid or the contrast dye. Once that is inserted, they take the X-ray and then they prepare for the surgery. There is one, preferred one point. I don't think there is any preferred point. Usually it's the groin or the arm. Is either it's femoral artery, or it's the artery that is there in the wrist. I think I can cross check the same if you want. What is the insertion point for angiography? So in cardiac catheter procedure, a doctor inserts a flexible tube called catheter into a blood vessel. Sometimes it's placed in the wrist, called radial artery, or it may be placed in the artery in the groin called femoral artery. So I was correct. Either it's inserted from the femoral artery, which is there in your groin, or it is inserted from the radial artery, which is there in your wrist. So I think I have answered your question. Damn, I remember that, man. Cool. Okay, I have received an image. Let me see that image. Yeah, So that specific is the femoral artery. So that is the femoral artery. If not that, it is inserted from the radial artery. So these are like two common spots from where you can insert the catheter. So that's there. What else? Guys, do I teach well? Do I teach well? Like, do I teach properly? Do you understand what I'm trying to teach? Would love to know some feedbacks on that aspect. Like, do I teach better than the professors in your college? Should ask that way. Do I teach well? Yeah, that's the question. What else, guys? Nothing else, then I will just go ahead and close today's live. We can meet tomorrow 9:45. Most of the people would be free and we will have a chill session. I can talk about what do you think? I'll show you guys my college pictures and stuff from the college. First year how I was, second year how I was, third year how I was. Then COVID came, so if you guys want, I can maybe show you a lot of pictures from my college days and talk about how my college life was like. Talk about interviews, internships, placements as the placements are going on for a lot of final year students. How you can maybe try applying to companies and things like that. So yeah, can do that. So I think that's about it. You can listen to some lo-fi music and I'll see you tomorrow 9:30, 9:45. We'll decide on the time in the group and we'll go. Bye bye.